Well, folks, we are live tonight after another disappointing result for Celtic. Yet again, disappointing to lose away to Motherwell in the league, a chance to actually win a game in hand and go level on points with Hearts. There would have been a bit of a goal difference, but look, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised yet again. We're in this predicament. How's it going, Tommy? I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a good Christmas. I hope that everyone had a good Christmas. I said I'll pop on, have a chat with you. Difficult watch tonight. And as I said, I'm not surprised. I'm sitting there saying to myself, when are we ever going to get a chance on target? It took us, 52 minutes to get our first chance on target. It's not good enough. I think Celtic fans need to realise we're papering off the cracks. We beat 10 men Aberdeen at home, and we thought, oh, well, maybe this could be the start of something. And then we conceded 2 early goals to Livingston the other day. And yeah, we scored 4 goals, but we were playing a team that was bottom of the league. Bottom of the league. So I just think people really need to understand that this isn't working out. Like, Tony Ralston is absolutely shy. Liam Scales was brutal tonight. And I don't like using that term bomb scare, but my God, Liam Scales was like Gary Caldwell at the back. He was just horrendous at times, really, really bad. Austin Trusty looked like he was all over the place. And what you could say was it was a woeful performance. And fair play to Motherwell. They digged in. It could have been three goals at half time. It just, like, I don't know what Kasper Schmeichel was doing for the second goal, trying to distribute the ball. Arnie Ingles falls. We're just like, it's so predictable the way we play that we can go against. He needs to go. This is the worst I've seen in years. His P45 is underway. I've said this already, and I said this a couple of times on the channel. If we lose to Rangers, you can get him the fuck. See this bullshit of give him a bit of time, give him a transfer window. We have 4 away games in January, 4 away games, and we have Scottish Cup in there. We have a trip to Bologna. We have a trip to Falkirk. We have a trip to, I think it's Hearts away as well. It's just, Days in Maeda look lost tonight. Paulo Bernardo look lost in the middle of that midfield. Callum McGregor, I'm sorry, but I'm going to say this, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Callum McGregor is done. Callum McGregor is done as a Celtic captain. He is fucking useless lately. He scored a couple of decent goals, but he is shy. He is absolutely shy. And he calls himself leader. I don't care what the manager is trying to implement with a style of football, but he is the face of the team. He's the one that motivates the players. He's the one in the huddle. He's the one that's barking the orders. He just goes AWOL. He goes AWOL on that pitch. And that's the God honest truth. And if people can't see that, what the fuck are you watching? What are you watching? Because I said this to me missus tonight, and I said, I goes, I'm not surprised with this. This is the standard Celtic, and fair play to Motherwell. Motherwell just had that hunger. We just did not look like we wanted it. You take it though, take it some. And this, I'm sick of fans trying to sell this picture to me. Oh, we play some decent football. You can see what he's trying to do. It's 8 fucking games in. 8 games in. And how many games have we lost already? 5? Fuck. Well, 7 games in. Just being a load of absolute shite. Misery. Absolute misery. And you know what? If Rangers beat us the weekend, they go level on points with us. And it's just fucking useless, honestly. And people might say, oh, we need this striker. We need to get this player in. We need to focus on getting that player in. We need to strengthen that position. The fact is, that is in a couple of days' time. What about since he's came in the door? If it's not working for you, change back to the normal system. He's too stubborn. He has his style of football. And look at the amount of times Motherwell got through the traps. Look at the amount of times Livingston got through the traps the other day. It is like another Rodgers. Definitely. Bring back Martin O'Neill. Martin O'Neill always said already he'd come back, but the board are not going to sack him. The board are not going to sack WILFRIED. You know, as I said, we might win the weekend against Rangers, and then people will be jumping on, oh, we'll get there, we'll get there. I've faced this in my head, even though realistically we could win the league if we actually had the right manager and the right style of football and the right players out there that actually give a fuck. But looking at that crop of players, looking at that manager, we're not going to win the league. Just put it into his heads. We are not going to win the league this year, regardless of Hearts getting beaten by Hibs the other day, regardless of who they drop points to. We're as bad. We don't deserve to win the league. We're halfway through the season, and it's just been an absolute nightmare from hell. From Roger Shy football to this, you know. Help smash the like button. I really appreciate people could the likes up on the channel. I said I'll pop on tonight, and I know some people might say, oh, you only come out of the cave and Celtic are losing. Nah, it depends what mood I'm in. Simple. Depends what mood I'm in. It's been a busy period, you know, Christmas and stuff that happening. Celtic was the least thing of doing YouTube lives when your family's over from Ireland. That's the least thing you'd be thinking about. But it's just been absolutely miserable to watch so far. And look, Negrin played well against LIVI, but as I keep saying to people, don't get ahead of yourselves. We're playing a team that's bottom of the league. Played a team that was 10 men down. You know, get your money on Celtic. Get your money on Celtic, what, to win the league? You're smoking the wacky. We'll see if we beat Rangers the weekend. On Saturday, see can we get response. But right now, there's no conviction in that team. There is there's no players that want to strive and make it. Look what's happening. When we're moving up with the ball, we're very deep into the opposition's half, but once we fuck up a pass, they're straight on us. They're hitting the traps. And I don't know why he's at to bringing Schmeichel back in there ahead of Sinsalo. Sinsalo couldn't do much about the 2 goals against Livingston, but come on, Schmeichel is done. He's stale bread. Like, honestly, he is done, you know. I never thought I'd say this, and I really fucking hate saying this. I'm probably going to lose people for saying this, but I don't give a fuck. Rangers might do us a favour the weekend, beating us to fucking get rid of this prick out the door. Honestly, I cannot buy into his ethos. And you know what? Yeah, we won against Aberdeen, and I was saying to myself, is there a bit of false hope here? We beat Livingston. We should have been beating Livingston anyway. I'm not getting carried away. Well done. Good bit of comeback, good bit of play. But no. We're playing against a really good, organised Motherwell team that were unlucky to lose at Ibrox, that should have had a penalty. And so today they were well up for it. We were second best in every department. We were bullied off the ball. We were just, you know, skilled. And it's very hard to say, you know, I am looking at the bigger picture, you know. The bigger picture is you need to stop thinking. Use your head, don't use your heart. Do you really think we're gonna turn this around and win the league? It's quite slim. And I really, really dread Saturday. And as I said, I'm not trying to come on and be a negativity boat. I'm just saying the realization of how bad we're getting. Regardless if we're playing home or away, teams are hitting us counter-attack real quick. You know, once we fuck up in the middle of that midfield, they're on our traps. You know, Scales does not suit the system. Scales is looking like F.A. Ambrose out there at the moment. Austin Trusty trying to defend. I'll give him the marks. He's trying to defend, but he just looks absolutely confused out there. You know, Ralston is shit. Ralston should not be playing in the Celtic shirt ever again. He's not good enough. Like, why would you start that guy? You know, I know we've been looking at a lad from Bournemouth and players from all over the shop. We're looking at players in the MLS. We're looking at different style of players, but fucking actions speak louder than words. You know, this is why I'm not really buying into the transfer talk at the moment, because I'm thinking of what's in-house. Let's clear out what's what's actually rotten at the moment than bringing in the freshness. Let's clear out the duds. They need to go. And it's not, it pisses me off when we bring on Donovan. Donovan should have been playing ahead of Ralston. Donovan has pace. Donovan looks more tactically in there than Ralston. Ralston tries to hit the ball, tries to hold the ball. He turns like a fucking 18-wheeler. He's done. He was done. I just, as I said, I'm not been hiding in the fucking caves that because we got 2 wins and then I'm back out again because we've been defeated at Fair Park tonight. The realization is most Celtic fans are going into these games are knowing deep down inside that it's becoming now a 50-50 game with these opposition. It's not we're favourites anymore, regardless of our higher paid wages, regardless of experienced players, regardless of how many fans we have in the stadium, regardless of what formation we play, if we're on form or not off form. Teams know how to play against us, and that's the fact. Will he be sacked tomorrow? No, they won't sack him, Stevie. They won't sack him. The Celtic board are money pinchers. They're money pinchers. That look, when you realize the realization is that they're at the paying. They pay Martin O'Neill, Sean Maloney to obviously steer the ship. That would have been a couple of quid there, not too much for that 37 days. Resigning Brendan Rodgers, aka sacking him, that would have cost them to sack him out of his contract as well in his final year, and then getting WILFRIED Nancy in. They want to pinch the bullet. They won't, realistically, they won't. I don't know. I think it'll be a draw on Sunday. Like as much as I just said on the podcast, I really don't want to see Rangers beating us at home. But the realization there, if I was a Rangers fan and if I was Danny Roll and that team, I'd be confident going to Celtic Park. I really would. You just have to look at the style of football. You just press on the wings. You press on the wings, one straight pass, and you're through onto goal with Celtic. The second thing is set pieces. We can't defend set pieces for our lives. That's another thing to worry about. We're not taking enough shots from outside the box. We're trying too hard in the final third. There's not enough creativity going to happen. The only decent thing I seen from Celtic today was Rio Atate giving a nice pass to Tierney in the first half. That's all I seen from Celtic. And then Rio could have just dipped after that. It's horrendous. As I said, we all want success. We all want to see Celtic win. We all want me to come on the podcast and say, God, what a rotten result against Motherwell. Beating Motherwell 3-0, Negrin getting 2 more goals, Maeda getting a goal, but that wasn't meant to be. We had 2 shots on target for the whole game. 2 shots on target. Like, fair play to Motherwell. Fair play to them. And the goals go in, and you don't even. It's not even that kind of like, oh, we're going to get back into it. We're going to get back into it. Believe, keep the faith. I don't get that. I don't get that vibe anymore. Does anyone get that vibe on the channel? Be honest. Be honest with yourself. Is it WILFRIED Nancy that does that give you the vibe? Is it a team that doesn't give you the vibe, or is it just general around everyone? We just don't get that optimism the way we usually do. Just let me know. Let me know. It's good to see Mackenzie in, CB in, Qatar in, Gaddafi in, Tommy in. Really good people in tonight. Kevin as well. Parkhead boy. Be honest with yourself, lads. And ladies, be honest. What is going on here? This is the worst Celtic team I have seen. In the 20-odd years I'm supporting Celtic Football Club, this is the worst team. Tony Mowbray's team was fucking bad. It was bad. COVID season was bad. But this team do not care. They do not care what's in them stands. That supporters pay that money to see them play. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I feel sorry for them fans. Them fans go in, week out, spend their hard-earned cash to see that team getting fucking humped. But humped by Dundee United, by St. Mirren in the Cup, Hammered by Roma, which was expected. Getting beaten by Hearts, which we had a chance to get back into the title race. It's just hard. It is the worst team, and I'm not over exaggerating. I'm speaking from the heart, folks. I really am speaking from the heart. Where do we go from this? Sack the manager and try recruit and get someone else in? They're not going to sack this guy. This guy is a fucking puppet master. He's going to keep getting spoon-fed the bullshit from the board. You know? That's what you're going to get. I want Martin O'Neill back. I want Martin back. You know, I was thinking, want Martin back for good earlier on. Of course. I want to see our granddad on the touch lines with the tracksuit on, and you know, the only reason they fucking make me buy the tracksuit. Nah, fuck that. I'm not giving that board any more money. You know, he won't be sacked. You know, we could want Martin O'Neill back, but it's not what we want as the supporters. The supporters are singing week in, week out, sack the board. I think, my honest opinion is, I think the Celtic board, as much as it's getting pressure to them, I think they're just zoned out. Zoned out. And that picture of that so-called boy with the knife, what a load of fucking bollocks. He was like that. And then the police guys hit with the Illuma stuff. I was like, oh my God, Daily Record, please, get the fuck. Honestly, like, never a knife. He was like that. It was a joke. I was like, seriously. And there was actually one or two fans on my social media saying, that looks like a knife. I'm like, it does not look like a knife. Zoom the bleeding picture in, like, uses our heads, you know? You know, I could do a better job managing that team. I'm not word of a lie. You know, I would do a better job because I would probably get a reaction out of them. But I'm saying this now, and this is a difficult one to say. As much as I love Callum McGregor, deep down inside, I'm grateful for Callum McGregor's contribution to Celtic Football Club, from a youth player up to the senior level, scoring his first goal against Reykjavik, you know, taking the captain's armband with Scott Brown. But he needs dropped. And that's the God honest truth. I think Luke McKenna will do a better job than Callum McGregor in that position. And that's me saying, or even Paolo Bernardo in that position. I know Paolo was off it tonight. I think Callum McGregor is done. He is absolutely done. And it kills me saying that because he has scored some really important goals in recent times, but overall, it has his performance this season so far isn't nowhere near even a 6 out of 10. He is. I don't care what people say about changing manager, change of tactics. If you're a professional footballer, you adjust the tactics. You adjust the different positions. It's not just a case. He's 7 games in now, folks. We're 5 fucking defeats in. 5 defeats in. And fans are still fucking happy clapping. Like it's okay. We're still second. We still have a chance. It's all rosy. We're okay. Calm down, Keith. Kill the Jets. It's only a bit of turbulence. It's a bit of turbulence. Is there a bit of turbulence when this goes on? It feels like it's gone on fucking forever. It's been, what, a month? Has it been a month? Fucking, it just, like, honestly, I'm going to watch every game, of course, but you can't be optimistic. You know, you're putting this jersey on, you're like, fucking hell, come on, get a result tonight. You know? Just throw the towel in, folks. Throw it in. I know we're halfway through the fight already, but the thing is, us as supporters are halfway through the fight, but the players are not through the fight. The players are not in this together. They're not in this as a team. I really believe they are well done. I've said this so many times. Since Munich, done. They won the Liga Tannadice and they went to absolute shit. So any fan that's been at Fair Park tonight that watches my YouTube channel, I feel sorry for you. Fair play is going out in that cold and supporting the boys. But the thing is, sadly, that crop of players don't give a fuck about you. Sadly, that crop of players Don't care. We've heard these reports that Luke McCown didn't talk to his family and his friends for when he went through them 4 games. And that, you know what? I feel sorry for Luke. I really do. But all the need to shake their heads and give themselves a wobble, you know? Let's go through a lot of comments here. We all know the quality in the squad. Same players, O'Neill. But that's the thing. Martin O'Neill did get a reaction out of him. They should have just kept Martin O'Neill in till this game and get Wilfried Nancy in the background, the Danes of getting players over the line, kind of getting used to dealing with them in Lennoxtown, getting used to, doing a bit of that in training and then getting them switched on. But no, it's too much on the board, eating money in, it's, and see all this talk of Maeda's happy, Maeda's this, Maeda that. It's all coming out because we fucking won 2 games. Lads, wake up to reality. Maeda wants to go. You want to play for that team. Like, don't get wrong, the club's amazing. Great club, good history. But that fucking team is... Oh, it's a car crash. Honestly, it's a car crash happening. Definitely too much. Too much, all right. How's it going, Casey? Bingo. How's it going? Vicky, he's lost trusty KT Maeda for tonight for sure. Look, as I said, I don't want to go on and moan too much on the channel. I want to come on to give you positive news. I want to. It's not even becoming that hard to watch now. Do you know what it feels like? It feels like your mom and dad are telling you you're going to a family event, and there's people at that family event you dread and you're not looking forward to seeing. That's what it's like when you're watching Celtic at times. You just dread them feelings. You just dread that sitting there trying to hope on fucking something positive. And it's just pass back, misread pass. And look at the first goal. Where was Austin Trusty for that header? Where was Austin Trusty? That attacker right in the middle between the 2 defenders, straight in there. And I'm saying, look, Schmeichel couldn't do much about that. But see the second goal, my God. Arnie Ingles. Overrated. Overpriced. Not good enough. Should be gone. Even though I said in the summer, give him a full season another season under his belt to see can he do it. He's not good enough. That midfield is in tatters. Absolutely shy. These players were trying harder under Martin O'Neill and they knew what they were doing. Yes, because Martin O'Neill is a Celtic man. He knows the importance of winning. He knows the importance of just tweaking certain things, getting everybody involved. You get the likes of Forrest, McGregor, McCallum, Tierney, Ralston, all Celtic boys, knowing when you got a legend like Martin O'Neill coming in, you got to pull your socks up and you got to go to battle. And that's what you done. We lost 1 game in 8 under Martin O'Neill. We're 7 games into Wilfried Nancy's regime and it's been fucking misery. Misery. From Hearts to Roma to St. Mirren, which I was at, to Dundee, winning against Aberdeen, whoop-de-doo, beating Livy, conceding still 2 goals, whoop-de-doo, and then getting beaten by Motherwell. Yeah, it's just this, like, they're in second gear, even when they're playing. Look at Scales tonight. Scales that's probably up there with Liam Scales' worst performance since Ibrox last year, the 3-0 game. It's up there. Absolute woeful. So, yeah. And this would be the funny thing is, Bill, we'll probably win the derby now on Saturday, 2 or 3-0, and everyone's jumping back on the bandwagon. No Nancy, no party, and all that kind of crap. I completely agree with you, Danny. Well, that's it. Wilfried Nancy said in his press conference a couple of weeks ago, he doesn't have to prove anything to anyone. He's Wilfried Nancy. He's the guy that's won the MLS Cup. He's the one that got Columbus Crew to equivalent of a Champions League over in North America final. So his ego is big, even though he doesn't realize how big this job is. I've said this a couple of times on the channel. I'll say it again. Finishing second place or even third place in the league isn't good enough. That will fuel anger within the support. And I understand there's supporters that are going to stick by a manager and stick by a team through the depths. And I really appreciate them supporters, but isn't me. If something's broke and you can see something's broke, are you going to leave it there trying to make something work that isn't working? You need to change it. You know, it isn't working. And the only way it's going to work is changing your manager. And look at, he tried to change the formation in the cup final, the 4 at the back, and it was miserable. And all you need is, and the thing is, Motherwell were missing a couple of players tonight. A couple of the lads have went to AFCON. Like, we're missing Taneki. Taneki played, I think it was 60 minutes today for Tunisia. Like, Balakwisha, don't really give a shit about him. Useless, shy, hasn't lived up to their level, you know. It's like watching it. It's literally like a bag of Lego. It really is. Far as back I remember, we had a Celtic team. He had a Celtic man. Yeah, he doesn't understand how big this club is. He doesn't understand the pressures of this job. Like, we can all look from the outside. Other supporters or other clubs, or Celtic are a big team in Scotland, they should be cruising that league. The league this year is very competitive for the standards of Hearts doing well, Rangers miserable at the start, they're picking up. We've been absolutely brutal. And I've said this and I'll say this again. We need to stop hoping on Martin O'Neill to come back and save us, because I don't think the board are going to make that change. I don't think the board will get Martin O'Neill back in. And if it happens on Saturday, if we drop points on Saturday or we get beaten on Saturday, you know, you're going to get fans. You're going to get fans turning around saying tonight, oh, I'll take the draw on Saturday because I don't want to lose to them at home. I don't want to lose to them at home. It means that we're still 3 points off them or whatever. Get the fuck, like, is that what we're settling for? Is that what we're settling for? With the team we have, we should be going out and fucking pumping these. But instead, with that core of players, I have that like 10% hope, because they can't string a pass together. They can't defend. We're ropey at the back. We've conceded in 7 games. We haven't had a clean sheet under Wilfried Nancy. Under Wilfried Nancy, no clean sheets. He has to go down as the worst manager in our club's history. John Barnes looks like fucking a blame Messiah. He looks like Jose Mourinho. Heard to this guy, you know? Yeah. Well, it's going to be hard to clear it out. It's going to be hard to clear out the players in January. That's the thing. You know, who would want to take a certain player that's not playing certainly well for that club? You know, it's embarrassing. You know, there's loads of people are saying clueless, embarrassing, woeful. You know, it's not surprising anymore. Just get that into your head. It's not surprising. Callum McGregor needs to be dropped. Simple. Kasper Schmeichel needs to be dropped. I think Tierney's trying, but the thing is with Tierney, is that he could feel it. You could just feel Brown. He's one game away from a long-term injury with him. That's how it feels that we're watching Tierney at times. You know, it's just like he doesn't have that same Tierney vibe. I know he's a bit older now and he's had his injuries, but it just looks like he's not in it the way he could be in it. I know he scored a couple of goals, and yes, his goal for Scotland could have lifted his career after this year and all that malarkey. But the point is, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? We need to stop bringing players back for the whole point of, oh, it's nostalgic. They get Celtic. They know how important it is for Celtic. Like, people are saying Kyogo. Kyogo has played 20 games in the championship, folks. He hasn't scored one fucking goal. He's averaging about 50 minutes a game. Like, I have me Football on that app, and people are saying bring Kyogo back. I posted up a couple of times. Would you take him back? No, I wouldn't take him back. Do you know why I wouldn't take him back? Because he didn't want it. He wanted to leave Celtic. He wanted to pursue a bigger league. He didn't cut the mustard in Rennes because he's gone to the championship. And I thought he would do well in the championship. Not a chance. I wouldn't take him back. Why should we give him that privilege of taking him back? Because he's Kyogo, because he gave us goals. Fuck Kyogo. Get someone in fresh. Get someone in that actually wants to do something. Stop relying on old fucking names. Yeah, Martin O'Neill's different because he's been around Celtic longer. He's got us to European final and stuff like that. But stop with this Kyogo bullshit. Stop. I'd rather have Greg Taylor back than Kyogo. That's the God honest truth. And they're saying Giakoumakis. I love Giakoumakis, but no, I wouldn't go Giakoumakis. Stop going for people that we've had at the door. Go for new faces. Players that want to impress. Not players that come in, get the whole welcome back show, and then someone will fall to the dogs. You know? I know Jota was unfortunate to get that injury at Tannadice, but fuck me, I'm just getting to the stage where, like, is he just a calendar boy now? When is he going to be back? When is he going to be back? You know? It's just like, no, I wouldn't take Kyogo back. Not a chance. And I think people are feeling sorry from, 20 games in, I don't care. That's his career. Don't care. Thanks for your moments, Kyogo, for Furuhashi. But no, we're not fucking your mom or your dad. When you have a bad breakup, you're going back to them. Fuck off. No, you're all right. Not a chance. You know? Right, so 2 wins from 7, a win against Aberdeen with 10 men, and a win against bottom of the league, 100%. People are papering over the fucking cracks. Stop papering over the cracks. Look at the realization. 7 games in. Look at the amount of goals we scored from set pieces. Look at the awful defending. Teams are winning the ball in their own half and hit us on a counter-attack. That's the type of stuff you do when you lose out on an opposition, or when you're going at all out attack with a corner. Like, come on, it's embarrassing. It really is, like, you know. As I said, I'm not trying to throw Kyogo down the road and give him abuse, because I'm grateful what he's done, but he is not the answer to Celtic's problems. Simple as it is. The guy left Celtic. He got a new agent the previous summer. He scored against Ross County. Why should you take him back? Because he's had a raw deal. He comes back and plays it, scores a few goals. Oh, Kyogo's back. He's the best since Larson. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, fuck off with that shit. Stop buying into it. That's what the board want. The PR shit. They failed with the PR stuff. They hired a company, the Celtic Corrective. What happened to them on Twitter? They got done. Like, they need to be called out. This is the board's problem. And it's an absolute fucking pain to watch, because they're getting away with murder, with AGMs, with prices on stuff, fleecing the fans, not making the best decisions, the most common sense fucking decisions you could make in a business. Be safe than sorry. Bringing the guy in, giving him 2 training sessions and letting him implement his style of football when you're playing a team who was on top of the league, where you can actually change it around and get fucked over at home against Hearts. Okay, Roma is a fucking a free pass because you're playing against AS Roma, who are fighting to win the Serie A title this year. But come on, the cup final has enough to say. You know, like as I said to you, it's not even hurting anymore when teams score against us. It's not surprising me. And I turn around, I always say to me, missus, or any of my friends that say to me, I'm like, I'm not surprised. Celtic are dirt. Celtic are dirt. This is the team I love, but they're dirt because they don't fucking care. They don't care. They don't want to make a reaction. They don't want to give satisfaction. They don't want to win games. They don't want this title. They don't want bonuses. They don't want to get into some of these players get into their national teams and play in the World Cup because it's like that they've dropped the tools. But yet under Martin O'Neill, they were like, oh, it's back on. You know, stubbornness, absolute stubbornness, you know. Oh, I'm sick of moaning. It has to be done. I hope you're enjoying the live. Tell us where you're tuning in from. Please like the video. Just a button below. Give it a thumbs. Give it a tap-a-roo. Tap-a-roo. I will start doing transfer videos soon about players. I will. I'll be honest with you. You're looking at that. You're looking at all the paper talk and you're saying to yourself, would you want to join that club? Yeah, they're trying to work something out. They're trying to implement a new style. The Nancy ball, Nan ball. Fuck Nan ball. You know? I'm surprised the fans weren't singing Nancy Get the Fuck tonight. Because we were paping over the cracks. Paping all over. Because we beat Aberdeen at home. That's why. Imagine we didn't beat Aberdeen at home. It'd be a different story. People need to get in their head. Stop this false hope. Just be realistic with yourself. Be realistic. You know? I'll be honest with you, Ian. I don't even watch his interviews much anymore because he's stubborn. His approach, he thinks he's bigger than the fans at times. He's the man at the front. He's the man with the black jacket on, with the black gloves on, with them sambas on, thinking he's the dog's bollocks on that sidelines while we're getting fucking thumped. Russell Martin 2.0. Eat your heart out. Eat your heart out. I'm not looking forward to Saturday. Rangers need to win a corner. Boom, set piece. There you go. Score early. We'll shut ourselves. Won't get back into it. Trap, offside, bang, another goal. There you done. Rangers beat us. They'll have their fans in the corner and then it'll hit you fucking hard. And see all these happy clappers, right at them. I get a lot of them on Facebook. A lot of them on Facebook give me shit. Oh, you're a plastic fan. Oh, you're doing this. Oh, you do that. Mate, it's a results business. It's a results business. Stop backing someone that does not suit the identity of Celtic Football Club. Why I mean identity is someone who gets the fans. I don't see many pictures of people meeting Wilfried Nancy, by the way. Don't see it. You know, don't see that. And that's something you buy into. Celtic is a family club. You know? Oh, there's a lot of podcasts out there that are happy fucking clappers. And I'm not going to start calling ones out. But there's ones out there who are literally on the ball and say as it is. When we're shy, we're shy. I just feel like some podcasters are afraid to call out the board, are afraid. They're too PG. They're too PG. They're afraid to say, oh, the board got it wrong or Nancy's tactics are wrong. No. Oh, maybe adjust around the next game. I thought we played well. You could sit there and have your 3 microphones at the end of every game and clap all you want. What matters is you should be feeling the pain as much as we're feeling the pain. You're the one that's paying the hard-earned money. You know? Does my head in. This is why I don't watch half the podcasts. They go through my fucking nut. Be honest with you. Like a fair play to them, they put the work in, but some of the stuff they talk is shite. Absolute shite, like. You wouldn't talk that to an old man in a pub. You know? You wouldn't talk that to your mate in a pub. You know? Use your head. Like, Like, does anyone want his autograph? I don't know. Does anyone want his autograph? For God's sake. God's sake. Oh, here's the question. If we can't get Martin O'Neill back in, who'd you go for? Be honest. Be honest with yourself. Just be honest. You know, appreciate all the likes. Now, I know some people are saying there in the comments that like I'm not hitting a dig at Celtic fans TV, calling them happy clappers. The lads are their own opinion. Paul is a good lad. His little team are good lads. They do what they do, but it's not my. I don't like watching them because it's. I just don't get on side of what they say. Simple as. We're all different opinionated, and I respect what they do because they've done well with that channel and they're a good set of lads. But it's not what I wouldn't hang around with them in a pub. Simple. That's my simple way of saying it. So good luck to Paul. Good luck to the lads. That's not me putting the straw in the arse and saying well done. Just not my cup of tea. Simple, you know. I turned out the game as soon as we went 1-0 down. Needs to get Sean Maloney. I'll take Sean Maloney till the end of the season. I was very skeptic about Sean Maloney, to be honest. I thought he was a bit of a stubborn cow, especially when he was at Hibs. But you know what? I seen him on the sidelines with O'Neill, and he was doing all the most of the logistics behind the whole training and all that. Him and Fozzie. I'd take Sean Maloney. I would. Just, you know what? It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare that's never going to end. Never going to end. I know there's been difficult times in the club's history. I understand that. COVID was a hard one, but at least with COVID, we could understand. Say the fans are not there. It's difficult for the players. You know, we knew there was politics with the board and the whole Dubai thing. We knew that Lennon was off it, but at least Lennon was a Celtic man. And as much as he was stubborn, he was trying to change it around, even though the gap was too much at the time. This is completely different. The ball is in our own hands and we're fucking up week in and week out. That's just the difference, you know? At least with them, we had players that actually wanted to play for the fucking short. Like on El Yunusi actually wanted to score goals, you know? Shane Duffy was terrible because he had a bad time on and off the pitch, you know? But Christopher Oyer was trying, Stephen Welch was trying, you know, John Joe fucking Kenny, he was mince, you know. Laxall was mince, but Barkas, you know, couldn't catch a fucking cold, you know. That's how bad he was. Robbie Keane, look, I think a politics aside in this one, and I'm gonna say it as it is. Robbie Keane done well at Celtic as a player on that loan move. Really impressive. I think it was 15 goals or something like that. One of the best strikers I've ever seen in football. But as a manager, he's won the Israeli League, which a lot of Celtic fans do not like talking about. But he's won it. He has European experience, confidence, and Europa, and he's beaten Rangers. You know what? I wouldn't be against Robbie Keane, and I know we can't. You can't win people over that are very passionate about the whole Palestinian stuff. I can understand that, but you need to see it as a football perspective. We're here to support a team. We're not here to support movements. We're here to support a team. This is why we're Celtic Football Club. And I know people are very passionate about what they believe in and what they march for. I understand that. But I'm here to support a fucking football team and see our team be successful. When you're successful on the pitch, the boys will be in the stands. Simple. When we're doing bad, the buzz is across social media, negativity, you know. I will not be against Robbie Keane. Simple as. I wouldn't put him as my first preference. Like if they said tomorrow, Robbie Keane or Wilfried Nancy, I'd rather Robbie Keane. Simple. Just use your head in it. Would you get Brownie in? No, I wouldn't guess. I would take Scott Brown as a number 2 behind Sean Maloney. That's what I do with Scott Brown. That's the God honest truth. Scott Brown needs to go to a Hibs or a Dundee United and make a statement for himself. He doesn't deserve merit to come into Celtic Football Club. The reason why I'm saying like Robbie Keane or someone like that, because Robbie Keane has won leagues in fucking Hungary and he's won leagues in Israel. He has European experience and he's beaten Rangers. Something that Wilfried Nancy probably won't do on fucking Saturday. You know? Look in the bigger perspective. You know? I would love Newts in a heartbeat. He would be my first preference. But he's not going to touch Celtic Football Club. He has his own ways of having a say in transfers, having a clause with players. Like this is why he's still at Bodo Glimt, because he's been successful. He's like an Alex Ferguson at Bodo Glimt. That's the best way to explain it. He pulls up the big bottoms a lot. So you know, as I said, I understand the whole against Robbie Keane. I understand where it's coming from, but you need to understand it in the perspective is, could he win them players over? Does he enough to take Celtic out of this mess? Probably, or probably not. You know, I'm not a big Robbie Keane fan in any shape or form. I'm not a big Robbie Keane fan, but I'd rather him over Wilfried Nancy. You know, I really would. But Ange Postecoglou won't touch Celtic Football Club. And if I was Ange, I wouldn't go back. Why would you go back to that board? Getting offered the same, you get offered this and get offered that. They're con merchants. They've no hesitation ripping their fans off. And this is why the away jerseys and the tour jerseys have gone down to 30%, because they know that people are boycotting their merch. Why did he not do a Christmas ad this year? Maybe because they threw every single fucking merch at every fan every week. That's why. You know. Yeah. Brownie does not deserve the Celtic job. I love Scott Brown, one of my favourite players of all time. In a whole lot of football of all time, top 5 of all time. But no, you don't give it to him because he's a winning captain. He knows Celtic. Neil Lennon got that. And yes, Neil Lennon won trophies and stuff. But Neil Lennon was around the background with Gordon Strachan, you know, getting used to doing the coaching side of it, you know. We need a lot. We do need the Green Brigades. We need all fans on board. But the problem is there's politics between the fans. Some fans are happy clapping. Some fans just go to the game and expect that Celtic turn up and they win. That the game will take care of itself. That's what I get sometimes of people. And I look and I roll my eyes. I had a fan who said to me in my job a couple of weeks ago, lovely man, loving the bits, really nice guy, heart of gold, a lot of time for him. But he was that convinced that we were going to win a treble when Nancy came in. So like, we'll still win the treble. I was like, within a week, what has happened? Got beat by St. Mirren, thumped by Hearts, thumped by Roma. I was like, don't wish too quick, but don't wish too quick. Sometimes you got to take a step back in the sidelines and let it unfold, and then give it a say. Like what I done the last couple of days, I let it unfold with the whole Aberdeen and Livy thing. You know, I actually enjoyed the live that night when I went to the Aberdeen one. It was a bit happy. We were all a bit happy. We all felt like we were actually going somewhere, and then, you know, we were conned into it. But it was like Wilfried Nancy's a con merchant. And if he's here to the end of the season and he wins us the league, I might change my opinion. But I don't think that's going to happen. I'm 90% sure. I'm going to put up a poll. Let's see. Out of the 22 people that are watching, is it going to be using your heart, or are you going to use your head with this question? Just be honest. I'm going to put this poll up. And it's an awful question to ask this, but I'm going to ask this. Will Celtic beat Rangers on Saturday, considering how bad we have been over the last 7 games. Just be honest with yourself. This is not this is not come on the negativity podcast. This is keep being truly honest, right? 73% of people are saying no. Whoa, 67, 73, 67. You know, I really do. I really hope we do beat them, but at the same time, papering over the cracks because it's a derby. You got to think about bigger perspective. You know, I hope. But as I said, there's too many weaknesses in that squad. The whole set piece, the whole us trying pushing up with the three the back, and then we're getting hit in the counter. It's too predictable. You look at how bad it was against LIVI, and then tonight, it's always the same. Like, you know. I don't think I can answer that question. I'm not hoping for a draw. I'm hoping for a win, but I'm just nervous, like everybody. You know, nervous. Look, what can you do? We'll end the poll. And then the next question is more of a leading question, more something that you'll actually get along with. Let's see. See who's all say now to this one. Clyde Bank was beat us tonight. Up the bank, you say? I want the reaction from our skipper. Really want a reaction. He needs to speak out and start being honest with himself. His performances have not been at the level. And I know we can get better out of Callum McGregor. We've seen it when Martin O'Neill came in. He turned the corner. But I don't know what is going on with him. It just looks like he's done at times, you know? Here's another question for you. More realistic one as well. Now this look, January is going to be a difficult month. We have the Scottish Cup. We have our 2 Europa League games. We have a difficult trip on the 24th of January away to Hearts. We have Falkirk away midweek. We have Dundee at home. We have Rangers at home. It's going to be a hard one. There we go. So will Nancy last past February? And the reason why I'm saying February is because he's getting his transfer window. Even though preferably I would not like him be in past the next game, but let me know. I don't know if that went through or not. That particular one. The comments are just disappeared. Kasper Schmeichel does need to be dropped. He has been one of the biggest culprits of the downfall of Celtic, from the Scottish Cup final to the League Cup final to his bad performance against Braga, his distribution of the ball. I was only saying this tonight to my missus. I was saying, do you know what? As much as we used to give Joe Hart shit and Gordon shit with the ball, Kasper Schmeichel's 10 times as worse. That ball goes back to him. You're brewing an own goal. You're brewing a slide tackle, a goal in, you know. Don't let Nancy spend the money. I'd be the same. I definitely think I wouldn't go near him. And we haven't kept a clean sheet. I know. When was the last time you kept a clean sheet against Dundee, was it? At Celtic Park? Martin O'Neill's last game was our last clean sheet. It's really embarrassing, folks. it's something different. We're not used to this. We're not used to feeling like this is the way forward. By the way, how's the sound on the podcast tonight? Just want to make sure that that we're getting there. So this is dealing with 3 points Rangers, 3 points behind Hearts with 19. The vote was with 19 games played. And yeah, fair enough. We're doing all right there compared to Rangers. 4 goals in it, but very, very difficult game. It's going to be really hard on Saturday, and they're going to have an approach to win the game. Fancy their chances, and we're at Celtic Park. We need our fans to 12 man and get behind the team, and Nancy needs to use his head and put the best team out. Stop this freshness bollocks, changing the side of rails. I just don't know. Sounds good. Picture's gone. Picture just vanished. I was sharing the screen. Did it not come up? Did it not come up? I thought it was coming up. Picture's black, Keith. I don't know why I didn't share it. It's back now. You can all see my beautiful face now. Is my face back? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. And he's back with his syllabang. I wish I was back like Ange. Wish I was back like Brownie in that coaching staff. But okay, we'll take it on the chin tonight. We'll take it on the chin tonight. There's no point. I've had my vent. I've had my cry. I've had my moan. And look, it's football. This is there's 3 ways it goes. You win some, you draw some, you lose some, and it's becoming a normality, losing games than winning games. And I don't get satisfaction with a smirk me face saying that, because deep down inside I'm hurting. I'm not surprised. That's why I'm like, oh, I wish I was back home and dirty. So yeah, has to. Oh, right. I'm gonna go. I might get back on tomorrow night for New Year's Eve. I have a couple of cans. Get through this ropey storm. But time to polish the webs off and take that on the chin. I'm gonna watch WILFRIED Nancy's post-match reaction. I'm gonna see what Charlie McGrew has to say as well on Premier Sports. I'm gonna look back at the game. I'm gonna look at Arnie Ingles' howler on missing the ball. I'm gonna look at the bad defending for the first goal. Good. I'm here to try and make people better. Some people don't like my opinion. That's fine. As I said, certain other podcasts speak different ways and respect every podcast. But I have a different way of doing things, And if I don't get to see us, the cameras. If I don't get to see us before the new year, I really appreciate all you tuning in tonight, and I'll take care of yourselves. Okay, hell.